Hello YouTube, welcome to another video, another episode. So today we're going to continue from where we left. Actually, we had started to create our server and we had only one file, the main file. When you look at it, we had only that in our API. So the aim of this video is to refactor this code and rearrange it. Actually, it's rearranging it and having every file in every part or every little bit in their own file, so that to have a good organization of our code. Actually, when you look at it, we have the handler func here for the health check endpoint. We have our routes in here. This is quite messy. When we can do better, so let's now get into it. It's going to be a short video. I just wanted to make it so that as the API grows, it will be easy to manage and we know where everything is. So first things first, to create, let's create the files. Can do attach cmd not users, cmd API, and then do the routes let go, and I can touch some helpers. cmd, let me do first the health check, and maybe have a touch for helpers.go. So basically, now looking at the tree, at least we have up to 4 files in here. So first things first, we want to rearrange our API, our health check, and take it to its file, the health check for the health check endpoint, and take it to its file. So we can just rewrite it here, or can just come here in the health check and start rewriting it. So we can have package main, then we have the func app calling the application, then have our health check here, and we want to write it in that we are not going to break the server. Health check, so it takes the http dot response writer and a pointer to the requests, http dot requests. We have the status. I'm just going to create a status, and then it will be a map. I'm going to say a map of sorry for that, a map of string and string, then initialize. You can say status, it's active. Then actually, I know I'm repeating myself because we had already covered this, but for the sake of, we'll not copy paste a lot of code here. We can just write it just simple, and then we can say the environment, and relating it sticks. It helps in sticking. You can say it's actually app.config.env. then finally our version. They create a version. Okay, yeah, I think I have it. So we have version, which will be version. It's a variable. That looks nice. So let's marshal it, JSON, and then we can return here error. So we can say JSON dot marshal status. Come check our error. If error is not equal to nil, what do we do? http dot error. Okay, http dot error, we have the response writer, and then we can add our error string. So we can say http dot status text internal server error, and then have the internal server error in there. Let me remove this sidebar. Nice. And then basically return, so that it cannot continue our file. Else we should set writer dot header dot set, and then here say content type to application slash JSON. Nice. W dot write, and then we pass our JSON there. Actually, I forgot to append the space for the people using it in terminal. In the terminal, you can say JS append, and then we pass in the tabs, not the new line. Actually, pass in a new line. I know we are using JSON indent, Marshall indent, but we can also okay, there's no need of changing it right now, because anyway we are going to put this in a helper function so that we cannot call these every time we create any endpoint. So let's go back to the main file, going back to main, and delete these. Okay, I'm going the wrong direction. Yeah, happy there, and delete it. I know we have something here, remove that. So let's try to run our server. Go. Okay, this they're complaining because I actually haven't added the package. They're in package main actually. They're in package main, so write that. Come here in the helpers, add package main, so it does not complain again, and then run. Trying to hit the endpoint. Let's see. Localhost. Yeah, it's actually working. We haven't breaked any code. We have just moved it to another file. So we can stop that. Now we come to the routers. So here in the routers we are going to create a function called app returns application, and then we're going to call it routes, and it basically returns a pointer to http.servmax. Yeah, it's going to return a servmax. So in here we're going to create a max, which is basically http.new servmax. Yes, that looks good. And then we're going to say max dot handle function. And then we have our version 1 slash health check here, and then come pass here the app dot health check. And then we can return our max because it's a pointer to our max. So with that we're going to update our main server. Instead of having this here, we can just delete it, and also this one. And in here we have to create a server now, so we can come here, call it server equals to http.server, and first we pass the address. We already have the address here, and then we are going to pass the handler. The handler will be our route, app.routes. Don't know why it imports it with the parentheses. And then we're going to set an idle timeout of time.minute, and then we're going to pass the write timeout of 30 times time.second, and read timeout also of 30 times time.second. cannot use up route. Let me see. Where is this coming? Okay, this is weird. Let's see. Let me write this, and I'm going to come in a minute. Sorry for that. I had to answer the door. Okay, so let's look at this once again. Let's see. Where is it misbehaving? Okay, now that looks good. Having now what we can do basically, we can just do this and come here, start the listen and serve. Okay, everything looks good now. I hope when we start the server everything will be running. I'll go run. Yeah, everything is running. Let's just try to refresh. Yeah, everything is running as usual. Stop the server. So the next thing that I wanted is for us to have our helpers helpers.go. So basically the helper we want to start with is this one for marshalling our JSON, for marshalling our data into JSON, for writing our JSON data. So we can come here to the helpers and come create a function. So calling it to application, just like a method for the app, and then we call it write JSON. So it will take the response writer. It's http dot response writer. Okay, the electricity are back. So another thing that it should take is http dot, it should take the status text, status code, which will be an integer. Okay, I think my width is becoming slow. Maybe another knock. Let me go and answer it. Oh, what are they? Actually, people are knocking on my door in minutes. Okay, let's continue. So actually disrupting my thought process. So we're going to take the status, which is an integer, the data that we want to marshal. Okay, I was to remove this navbar. Yeah, that way. So which we're going to take interface, because at times we're going to pass strings, at times we're going to pass maps, or even a list. Okay, and we're going to have the headers, which are http dot header. Now this looks nice. So in here, as usual, we're going to take the JSON file and error. We're going to pass them in the, okay, what have I imported? JSON.marshal. We're going to marshal them, and then we're going to, here is the data that we're going to pass. Handle the error. Actually, we should not handle the error here. We should actually return the error, so that it can be handled. The different errors can be handled in different endpoints, in different handler functions. So in here, our job will just be simple. If error is not equal to nil, return the error. Let me add the return nil. Not found if everything has run successfully. Okay, so for the JS file, we can as usual, you can just append it to the tabs for the people we will run it, or if we need to run it in the terminal. And we have to range to loop on the header files. So we can come here, say for key and value equals to range headers, and then we're going to have the w dot header, which is key equals to the value. We're going to write our status code, w dot write header with our status, the status, and then we're going to set our to our content type to application JSON, application/JSON, and finally write our data. Nice, everything is actually working. So we can just check this error. You can say if error is not equal to nil, just return the error. It returns an integer or an error. Yeah, just remember that, and just handle it that way. Now let's call it in our handler function. I'm going to call it in the health check handler function. So everything else goes, but yeah, this goes. And then on top here, we're going to just say error equals to app.write JSON. We're going to pass the response writer. We're going to pass the status code, http://ok.status OK. Our data will be status, and we're going to pass a nil headers, and the error is being handled here. So basically everything else here goes. And this import, I'm going to remove it there. And looking at this looks nice. So let's start our server, and everything is still running correctly as it's supposed to be. So basically we have now removed every unnecessary bit from our main package, and what we have here is only details about our server, the entry point of our server. The routes are in their own file, the helper functions are on their file, and the endpoint are on their file. So from the next video, we're going to now start to create our CRUD endpoints for the to-do application. And I was thinking of changing the marks that we're using to chai, the go chai. Let's look at go chai, and yeah, is the official documentation. I think this is actually a good one because of handling our parameters and everything is not so hectic as the default serve marks. So routing, I want the subgroups, sub routers, and basically this looks easy because looking at the parameters, URL parameters, it's easier to get them. Actually, you just call chai.url param and you specify the name of the parameter you want to get it, and there you'll have it instead of let's see. So here you can have even different parameters in a single URL. So this is just a simple way of managing your routes and parameters. So using this will be a plus for our API. So let's just copy this, come here and run it there. Let's see. Okay, it has added it. What else do we have to do? Let's look at the official documentation. New chai router. Okay, and then yeah, it's pretty easy. Looks same as our default marks. It's not so different. So we can come here to the routes file. Yeah, we're in the routes file, and okay, in the routes file, and just call it. You can actually say our marks, or what are they calling it? They're calling it R for router. You can just call it R also. So you can just call here R equals to chai. I think it's this v5 chai dot, oh no, okay, but new marks. So here you're going to return chai dot max, chai dot max. Not so sure. I guess my auto import are not working well. Let's restart this, and then okay, let's see. It's not been used. Okay, could not import the required. Yeah, this is actually an issue. Why is okay? Let me refresh my editor and see. Still not importing. I don't know why. What are they saying here? So chai dot new router, not chai dot max dot new router. So it's actually a function. Okay, this is messed up. It's messed up for real. So let's just start with a new file. I don't know why it's getting so messed up really easy. Routes. Then we're going to return a pointer to chai. Let's actually look at the documentation. It's actually version 5. Then come to routing, then subroutes, chai router. Okay, new chai router. Okay, up router is equals to new chai router. Okay, this looks good. Chai dot, we have something like a max. That's for version 5. Okay, we want this, the version 5. Then come specify here our router, or you can just call it router. which equals to chai.new router, chai.new router. Okay, that looks good. So router dot, okay, what are they doing here? Also you have router dot get, okay, router dot route, and then you have sub routes in it. Okay, this is what I want, router dot route. Then we have our pattern in here, so we can say this is the main pattern, the version 1, and then we need a function. Okay, that was nice. So in here we can have the r dot get, then we have the pattern for slash health check, and then the handler function update health check. We can return our router, so you can see everyone is happy, everything is happy. So go run, voila, and yes, everything is actually working really well. Let's try to remove the K and C. And restart our server. So we should get an error. Yeah, page not found. Awesome, it just returned page not found by default. I haven't added even the support, but this is awesome. And just to return it, write it, run once again, and confirm. Good. So in the next video we are going to continue. This was supposed to be a really short video, just updating everything. We have our router set, we have the main set, we have our helpers set, we have the health checker set. So in the next video we are actually, let me create the file. So we're going to touch cmd, then we create the tasks. The tasks handler functions will be here. So going to the tasks, let's just have them in package main. So basically here are where our handler functions are going to be. So thank you guys for staying with me despite the many door knocks and air disturbance in the video. Looking forward to see you in the next video. Like, share, subscribe. See you in the next video.